Stampy friends, welcome to the Joyous Stamping with Rachel. I'm Rachael Coon and it's Fun Fold Friday. Today we're making a card using Celebration DSP in a different way than it was intended. Go to Hold While I Flip and we'll get started. All right, as always, be sure to comment if you're here watching live and even comment afterwards and let me know that you watched this on the replay. For one lucky person who comments, we'll get the card that we make in the video today sent to them as happy mail. All right, let me go ahead and show you the card we're making. It is a Z fold and we are using the Peaceful Prints DSP, which is traditionally looking more Christmassy, but we've added a pumpkin and we're using the Pretty Pumpkin stamp set with the matching dies. Let me show you the dies real quick because they are amazing. Here they are. So we have some that do the outlines of the stamped images and then just these great pieces here. I used this pumpkin right there and this fun little leaf as well. So I told you this paper is known for a Christmas paper. So if you look at the Celebration, it's one of the free DSPs you can get with a $50 order. And it looks very Christmas, depending on what you pair it with. And we just switched it up and flipped it over and are pairing it with more of our fall idea instead. All right. So let me show you how this card looks and works. It has these 3 different panels right here and kind of like a mini card. And then this very back layer as well for our message and our stamped image. Let's go ahead and get started. So our colors that I'm using today are the Sahara Sand and the Garden Green. And I have this piece to start with that is scored at 4 different locations. Let me tell you some of those measurements real quick. Hold on. All right, so these measurements came from a stamper called Mary, I'm going to say her last name wrong, so I'll have her in the comments or on my blog to give her acknowledgement because I'm so in love with this fun fold. All right, so the card base is a 5.5 by 9 3/4, and then we have it scored at 1 3/8, 2 3/4, 4 1/8, and 5.5. Then we have our DSP pieces. You'll need at least 3 different panels of DSP. And you'll also need 3 mats to go with it. I'll have all these measurements up over on my blog. So if you're missing any of them, or if I don't say them right, they'll be correct there. Then we have like what I call the center card or a mini card. So we have our little piece here that's 3 by 4.5, scored at 2.5. And then DSP and mats for these as well. So this part's pretty easy. We just need to glue these all together. Let's go ahead and do that first, and then we'll get on to our stamping. All right. And because I'm using the opposite side today of our DSP, you can see on the other side, it's a little bit more Christmassy, but when you flip it, you can really make it almost anything you want. And that's what I love about this paper here. Let's flip these ones over and just add a little bit of liquid glue and get them centered. Just like that. So once you have these measurements down, you can do this with any DSP that you want and any stamp set. That's a great thing about fun folds. You can switch it out to be what you need to create. I just love though that this paper has been switched up and it's not just Christmas. All right, so we have those 3 down and let's get these 3 ready as well, or these 2. See, look at this one. This is the tree side on this one, which I love that side as well. But we're just going to flip it over and have the green polka dots. On this side are the deer, which could also be like a good hunting one. It doesn't have to be Christmas. That could be just like a masculine looking card, like at the cabin or something. But we're just going to flip it over to more of that Sahara Sand side. That's more of a pattern versus those deer. Okay, let's go ahead and grab our centerpiece and we can glue that on there as well. Mostly just a lot of gluing. Ooh, I'm looking at my pieces now and I'm thinking I'm missing a couple, so I might need to grab some paper and we'll do some cutting while we're here. I made this kit up yesterday and usually I double check things, but it's been a crazy busy day. It's almost time for school. We're doing all of our last minute prep to get things ready. There we go. All right. So what we also need are some basic white for our inside and that garden green for the mat. Let me grab my paper trimmer and some paper and we'll get that ready as well. Thank you for holding. Sorry about that. So our basic white is our typical basic white center. It's that 4 by 5 and a quarter. So we'll just cut that down the 4, flip it, cut it at the 5 and a quarter. And then for my mats on this one, I'm doing it all just 1/8 bigger. So I'll take my garden green and we'll make it a 4 and a quarter. So we'll just move it up a little bit, right below the 4 and 1/8. And then we'll flip it. Before we had it at 5 and a quarter. So now we're gonna go 5 and 3/8 by just pushing it up just a little bit. And there we go. Those should be our measurements. I always like to double check before we glue it on and make sure they line up right. And that looks good. All right, let's go ahead and stamp now on the bottom corner and then kind of more in the central here. We want to be able to cover this up when we close it so you can't see our fun saying until you open it up. So it's not towards the top, it's more center. All right, let's grab our garden green and I'm gonna stamp this really fun little like pumpkin leaves and ivy. See if you see that. Okay, there we go. Just in that very corner. Perfect. And we'll put that ink away and grab our Sahara sand. And make our greeting. It says, so thankful for you. And look at that beautiful scripty font, right? That Y, how it goes all the way around. I love that. Such a fun font. Okay, so I said center. Should be just about there. Perfect. And if I messed up, I could have flipped this over and done it again. So you want to make sure when you attach them, wait until you've stamped to your mat before you attach it to the mat. Oh, thanks. I see Kay's cards here. She says she loves the green and plaid. Yes. Such a great combo. Get that lined up and wiggled just right. And I'll lift it up. Sometimes I don't line it up right. And so luckily I use my liquid glue and I can try again. A lot of forgiveness. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and grab our card base now and we can start attaching pieces to it. So I'm going to go ahead and have this be our inside and we're going to use our bone folder and start getting our score lines rubbed down with our bone folder. So just kind of do a back and forth. And you want this front one to have it opening up this way, so a piece to hold. I could have gone the other way and I would have this on the outer side. No, we wanted to have it so that's been folded so we can pull that part open, just like that. Okay, let's go ahead and attach our center or our back piece with our saying. And then we want to figure out how we want to place our pieces of DSP right here. I kind of like the idea of how we had it. I did it every other for that one, but I've seen it too where this one has been like 2 of the same. So maybe 2 green there this time and the wood in the front. I'll give that one a try and see how that looks. just to change it up just a little bit. I do love this wood DSP though. I think that's really cool, like that, like a birch tree. I'll add this fun paper here. I don't know how to even describe that one. It's kind of like, I have no idea how to describe that. Rows of V's or tread marks, maybe? What would you call that? It's not like a chevron or anything, but it's fun. Okay. So we're to that point. Let's go grab our bone folder and we'll get this one ready. And as you can tell, there's no wrong way to have this one. So you could have done it left or right and just flipped it to how you want it. I like this one to be my front. And we'll go ahead and get that nice and creased. And how we need to do this is to place it where we want it. So we're going to place it about middle here. And then we're going to close our accordion. Because remember, I want to be able to cover up that thank you that's on the other side. But I want to give myself enough room for the adhesive. So I'm going to scoot it in just a little bit more and go a little bit down. Okay, then we're going to add liquid glue just to this outside piece here. Just a little bit. Okay, keep that open and we're going to close this down on it and just hold it there. While we're holding it there, I'm going to grab my Seal Plus. Sorry, just my regular Seal. And just do a nice little strip on this side. So I'm showing you can use either one. The nice thing about this one, there's no wait time. So as soon as I put this down, I don't have to wait for it to dry. And it will be good to go. Look at that, isn't that cool? Super fun. And it covers up our little spot. All we have to do now is just decorate this piece here. And we have it so that way we can still see our fun stamped image on the bottom. All right. So for this part, what I have us doing, sorry, I'm dropping things behind the camera, is this beautiful pumpkin. Oh my goodness. This is that Bedazzling Celebration paper, which you can only get with a $50 order when you pick that for your item. And it is just so pretty. And I've die cut that out using the pretty pumpkin dies. And we're just going to add some dimensionals to the back. I'm going to do about 3 in the biggest parts, and I'm using my mini dimensionals because it is has those lines, so we probably could have fit maybe 1 regular size dimensional there. And we're just going to put that about center like that. Then we're going to add some embellishing. So I have this cute little leaf here that's been, let me see, it's been cut and it has embossed images on there as well. Let me see. Oh, here we go. My glue dots are my favorite way to attach these. Before I do that though, I want to kind of show you, it has this little nook here. Kind of just fits perfectly right there on my pumpkin. You see how it just hangs there? It's like the best cutout for that pumpkin. So I'm going to add a glue dot and we'll just put this around the stem of this pumpkin and attach it that way. And then I had a piece of linen thread. Let me see if I can find it. Here we go. That I've just tied a knot to this one. I am so low on my linen thread. This is my last piece until I order more, which is my favorite type of embellishment. So it's sad that I'm almost gone. So instead of doing a bow like I did on the original one, I'm just going to use a glue dot and attach this to make it kind of like a crazy bow. And I can trim it down if I want as well. Same idea. And I frayed the ends too, so it makes it a little bit bigger than it actually is. We'll just put that over our leaf and stem. Should I trim that? Should I leave it pretty crazy and wispy? We'll trim it just a little bit. There we go. And I can make that look like a fake bow or just something crazy coming out. There we go. All right, lastly, I just added a cute little gem. It's coming from these Genial Gems, and I grabbed the larger size. There are 2 different sizes to this one, and I have the larger one we're gonna put up there in the top right corner, just like that. And there we go. We've made this fun Z-fold using our Peaceful Prints Celebration paper. Instead of Christmas, we've made it more of a fall feeling. And we have 2 awesome fun full cards today. All right, you guys, I hope you've had a fun time learning this one and give it a try. Have a great weekend and happy stamping, everyone. Goodbye.